Today we're going to do biscuits and gravy. Why would you want to make biscuits and gravy? Because it's delicious. So let's get started. So for this recipe we're going to do 2 cups of flour. And one of the things that you might have seen or it's helpful when you do flour is to scoop it and then scrape it off with a knife so you get a nice level cup. That way you can really get a big cup, then sweep back, sweep forward. It also helps if you have a measuring cup that's flat across. You don't want any goofy cups in order that you're trying to scrape off and you get caught up. So keep an eye on that. Okay, so we got our flour in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. We're going to do 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Now with baking powder, baking soda, you want to make sure you have, it leveled off. You don't want, this is not right. This is better. Also make sure your baking powder is fresh. Okay, that's a teaspoon. So we want to do 3 to make 1 tablespoon. Now we're also going to put in a little bit of salt. I got about a 1/2 teaspoon. Okay, so let's mix that up. Got a whisk here. A whisk, a wire one, is really important in the kitchen. It allows you to really get your ingredients combined together quickly and easily. Now comes the scary part for people, incorporating the butter into the flour mixture. So we have 1 stick of frozen, yes, I said frozen, unsalted butter. As you just take your butter and you grate it into the flour mixture. Okay, we got that all grated. Set that aside. Another thing that's important in the kitchen, clean hands, but your hands. Use them. You can get a lot done a lot quicker if you use your hands to mix, incorporate, handle. Just make sure they're clean. So what are we doing here? We're mixing that butter in with the flour, kind of squishing it together and getting it combined. That's looking great. We're going to get our cold buttermilk now, mix that in, and we'll be ready to put the biscuits together and get them in the oven. 1 cup of buttermilk goes into our mixture. When you got it together, so it's just kind of craggy, and most of the flour on the bottom is absorbed into the liquid. You're going to want to turn it out on your board. Another trick is to use parchment paper to help make your biscuits. So here we have a sheet of parchment paper, and we're going to just take our mixture here and put it out onto the paper. And then we're just going to fold the paper, press, fold again, press, fold again. Keep doing this until you get your dough kind of cohesive. All right. I think we're in pretty good shape. So we have our dough patted out, and this is the size of biscuit cutter that I like. I don't know what it is, maybe what, inch and a half, 2 inches. So our oven is preheating, not quite there yet. What are we gonna bake these in? I'll tell you what, let's do it in a cast iron skillet. This is indispensable in the kitchen. I'm gonna take a little bit of vegetable spray and spray in here. When you make the biscuits, cut straight down, pop them out, put them in, okay? Looks like we might need a little bit of flour on our cutter. Our dough is just a little bit moist, but that's okay. You really need to do a better job than what I just did of cutting there too. You don't want to fold the dough around as, too many times. Okay, there we go. All right. We have ourselves 3, 6, 9, 10 biscuits here. So the recipe makes 10 to 12, depending on how thick you make it. Okay, here we go. We're going to go into a 450-degree oven. It's going to take about 10 minutes. All right, let's get started making the gravy. We've got our biscuits in the oven. They're going to be so good. Oh, you're going to love them. Well, actually, I'm going to love them. The crew's going to love them. And you'll have to make your own, but I'm sure you will after this. We're going to be doing a sausage gravy, and that's going to be a pound of sausage. We're going to put that in our saucepan, and then we're going to brown that, and then we're going to add some flour in, and then the milk, and then some seasoning. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the stove here and get going. Now you really want to get this broken up, and it will fry up into nice small pieces. So continue to stir around. Don't worry if a little bit of sausage sticks on the bottom of your pan. Now you can use a cast iron skillet for this, or a pan like this, but I really don't recommend that you use a non-stick. And the reason for that is that you really do want that stuff. You want a little bit of that, because that's going to brown and create flavor. All right, we're really getting close there with this. Our biscuits are getting close. We're almost ready to have us some delicious biscuits and gravy. Take 2 heaping tablespoons of flour at this point and just put in there. You want to stir it around and incorporate it and let it combine with that fat that's from the sausage. So here we go. We've got our flour browned, and we're going to put in 2 cups of milk to start. Now, I didn't mention, but I should, that you want to cook this over high heat. You want to now work up that fond on the bottom and begin to finish incorporating the flour into the milk. One thing that you want to really be careful of is that you don't want to put too much liquid in for your flour mixture to start, because it's really hard to bring it back to a thick gravy if you made it too thin. I'm going to turn the fire down a little bit now and check on our biscuits. They're not done yet, but they're getting there. All right, folks, here we go. Hot biscuits coming out. Okay. Whew, they look good. These are plenty flaky, delicious, extremely hot. Well, I hope they're delicious. Let's give one a try. That's good. Tender. Yeah, they got a little bit of a crust on the top and the bottom, and They're very hot. I really need to wait a minute. So how about now we plate up some biscuits and gravy. So I want to tell you a couple things about this. Number one, when we cook here with Cook with Roy, we just start and do it. We don't have a second in the back and we don't do it and then shoot it again. It's just what it is. And I want you guys out there to understand that when you're cooking for your family, friends, make it fun. Make it simple. Keep it simple. Because really, if you're using fresh ingredients and you're using basic techniques, it's going to be good. Sure, it may not be perfect. I think I have too much sausage in here actually, but again, are we going to really complain about too much sausage? Seriously, this is hot. I'm sweating, by the way. Do you see that? Now, we're in June here, so can't really say that time of year maybe that you would have this very often. But I'll tell you, in a cold winter morning, this would be absolutely fantastic. It would really hit the spot. Very good. Well, I hope you've enjoyed watching me do biscuits and gravy. It's a very simple recipe, nothing fancy, nothing to go out and get, exotic ingredients. Just flour, some sausage, a few basic ingredients like baking powder, salt, baking soda, and butter, and milk. And you've got a very comforting and delicious meal. So this is Roy with Cook with Roy. Please subscribe, comments below, do all those things that you're supposed to do, and have fun. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.